Welcome to the Hobby School podcast. Whether you're a seasoned hobbyist or just getting started, Hobby School is the perfect place to learn something new. My name is Dr. Destiny Kopp, and I'm your host of the podcast. But before we jump into our episode for today, the only thing I ask is that if you enjoyed the episode, please share with a friend and give us an honest review on your favorite podcast platform. This helps us get out the content to more people. I also want to invite you to get on our wait list for our next Hobby School Online Learning Summit. These are free to attend, and you can find the link to join at hobbyschool.com, which is also in our podcast show notes. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. And my special guest today is Damla Aktekin. Damla is an inner child, energetic wound healer, crystal healing teacher, and soul healing writer who helps others move beyond the energetic wounds of their inner children and shine brighter than they thought possible so that they can fully show up in their lives to heal themselves, their families, and their soul community. Damla, thank you so much for joining me. I am super excited to chat with you today and learn a little bit more about this, a subject that I don't know a lot about myself. But we're going to be talking about how to use our creativity to heal ourselves and others. But before I begin and jump into all of the questions I have for you, can you tell the good audience a little bit more about you and your journey of leaving the corporate world of consulting to teaching $20 yoga classes?
Yes, that's a good way to put it. So happy to be here, Destiny. My journey starts with what I thought was going to be my life. Basically, I studied engineering. I did my MBA. I found myself as a business process reengineering consultant. That's a mouthful to say, but basically what I was doing was just helping companies reorganize their processes. Lo and behold, about 5 years into that, I started to have some physical issues, health issues. I developed migraines. And at the time, my inner compass got me into yoga. And there came a point where I needed to decide whether to continue with the corporate job or to delve into other waters, and I chose to delve into other waters. And I started to teach yoga. I completely got immersed in yoga. And then I thought, I became a yoga studio manager, all of those things. And then I thought, oh, okay, this is it. I found it. I'm going to be this for the rest of my life. And then lo and behold, in 2012, I gave birth to my daughter, which ended up in another healing crisis where I couldn't recognize my body. I didn't know what was happening in my body. And that led me to discover energetic healing tools of crystal healing, energy healing, and through them also touching upon my own creativity, my own, or redefining my own vitality through my creativity. And I am now in this place of exploring and redefining it every day.
Well, we definitely want to dig into this. And one of the things, and you and I have, I've gone to your website, we've chatted a little bit. You suggest that creativity is a way to heal yourselves and others. And I know you have a lot of experience in this. So walk us through this and tell us a little bit more about what you mean by this or what your experience has been.
Creativity to me is, again, that journey of redefining how you want to see yourself and how you want to see the world. First of all, we are creative in each and every breath. Each and every breath is a new creation. And as you breathe in every moment, you get the opportunity to redefine how you see yourself and redefine how you relate to everything else. My journey has led me to discover who and what I am through that kind of creativity, through partnering with crystals and diving into energy healing and vibrational healing methods, to basically discover that who and what I am is love. And when you begin to realize who and what you are is love, you begin to understand who and what surrounds you is also love. And it turns into this co-creative relationship of breathing together, because when you're breathing in, you're getting the love that's outside of you in, and when you're breathing out, you're giving a little bit of the love that you are out into the world. So out of the gate, I mean, without having to do anything or be anyone, you are creative in each and every moment. And to realize that means that you get a new chance every single moment to be who and what you are, which is love.
And you do this by partnering with crystals. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And this is not a subject I know about, so I'm sure I'm not asking the right questions here, but can you walk us through and tell us a little bit about what do you mean by partnering with crystals?
Yes, to understand that, you also need to understand that, first of all, our bones are minerals. Our DNA has a liquid crystalline structure. Your blood is crystalline. The fascia, the connective tissue, has crystalline properties. It actually can transmit electricity through your meridians, as well as your eyes, which are 90% water that makes you also liquid crystalline. So when you partner with a crystal, which is basically a solid crystal, the thing that they embody, the crystals embody beautifully, is this molecular organized structure. As mostly liquid crystalline beings, I talked about the breath being a unique opportunity to redefine, reorganize ourselves, because we are also chaotic beings, meaning we go out of order pretty easily. We can change pretty quickly and easily and evolve. We can also go into chaos and struggle pretty easily. What crystals allow you to do, in the most simplest sense, if you look at them as geographical marvels, when you hold them in your hand or place them on or around your body, you're giving your system a reminder of what organization, what coherence looks like. And your body, without the need for any words, knows and feels into this kind of organization and takes clues from it to organize itself, which then means your next breath is going to be a little easier. Your next breath is going to be a little deeper when you had a chance to partner with a crystal that day. And that allows you to open up to the creation of that day in your beingness a little bit more, and a little bit more from a heart-centered perspective.
So would you suggest that maybe us as entrepreneurs, or maybe the mom who is, in her house all day, have crystals in our rooms or on our desk while we're working to help with that?
Yes, that's actually how I started. I was a new mom and nothing I knew was working for me to be able to find that easy breath. And I found these little pockets of time where I could, just for 5 minutes, just for 10 minutes. And this is something actually I'm offering in my crystal healing membership, just 5-10 minutes of crystal energy healings. You pause, you only need one crystal, and most of us have it in our jewelry box as a pendant or a ring. Doesn't have to be that you go get, like, I don't know, 20 different crystals. Pick one. And I actually recommend starting with just one, because you're getting to know the molecular structure and the beingness of this crystal as that crystal is getting to know you. So it becomes a journey to understand each other, and journey to get to know the energies of each other. As you do this, you may begin to notice, oh, this particular crystal likes being on my belly. This particular crystal likes being on my heart, and so on. And you begin to allow for those little adjustments, little nudges, if you will. And the benefit of this is, how often as entrepreneurs, as moms, do we give ourselves just 5 minutes of breathing? or just 10 minutes of breathing. When we get to the point of overwhelm, our strategy most often is, let me do more. Let me, let me get one more thing done, versus just being and breathing, which is that fertile void is the basis for all creativity. That the breath is a renewable resource, and we do need time to reorganize ourselves often. So I love partnering and healing with crystals, and I would recommend it to anyone who's finding it hard to stay present with their breath.
And I love what you said is when we, and I can relate to this, when we get overwhelmed, our first inclination is let us do more instead of taking a step back and doing that healing and that breathing that you're talking about. So let's switch gears just a little bit. Can you walk us through the creative process of an intuitive healer? What exactly does that mean? How is it different?
It's not different at all. In the sense, though, it is it's a way for me, the work that I do, anything that I post online, anything that I create as healings or meditations or writing, my goal is always to help people heal a part of themselves. Specifically help people heal their energetic wounds, heal their inner children. And as I do that, my inner process is very much guided. I don't know how much you or anyone listening is open to this, but you can think of it as when you come to that organized breath and begin to realize the love that you are and the love that surrounds you. The love that surrounds you begins to talk to you the more you talk to the love that you are and to it. And what I find is that I might get an idea in a dream. I might get an idea during a meditation. I recently had the very good fortune to visit Egypt as a soul pilgrimage. And the moment I came back, I knew that I was going to be creating guided meditations that would take people into the temples and the sacred places that I visited. So the first thing is the impulse, the listening. And to be able to listen, you need to get to that organized, coherent, and present with your breath kind of state. And once that happens, it's literally a process of, at least for me, I don't know you, Destiny, it's a process of managing my time and energy and saying, okay, like I've written 30 plus pages of meditations today. That's enough. I can't start recording today. I can do it tomorrow. And sort of pacing yourself in the creation. And what I'm finding lately, more often than not, is this idea of finding grace in it through forgiving the little mistakes, forgiving the little hiccup I might have had during recording the meditation. In the past, I would have re-recorded it. But now I'm finding that I'm able to give myself the grace of knowing the energy, the intention is there, and whatever is intended to come through me into life is going to come. And whoever is intended to receive it will receive it in their own way.
And I love what you said about giving myself grace, especially for the little hiccups that come along, because they're going to be there, right? We're all going to get them.
Absolutely, yes.
So a lot of us may run into creative blocks as we're working, as we're going about our daily lives, or maybe we're in school. What are some of your suggestions to work through these blocks?
I think the block isn't so much that you're not creative. It's that where is the breath not running and flowing in your body? What wound have you not touched and tended to? Is the wound like underneath your rib cage on the right side around your liver? Maybe there is a wound related to the father in your life that you need to look at. Is the place that your breath stops near closer to your throat, Like you want to say something, but you're not able to because as you are growing up, everyone told you to sit down and shut up. So I think the blockages are more about what's happening in your body that's replaying itself as an energetic wound from your past, present, or if you have that in your belief system, past, parallel, future lives, as well as your ancestors. So what that means is an energetic blockage can show up in your body, in your system, and the symptom of it is the seeming blockage of your creativity. So I would say in those cases, as much as possible, just tend to your physical needs, tend to your nervous system relaxation, take a walk, take a bath, and then find those pockets of time to breathe, cohere, reorganize yourself. And even as you reorganize yourself, you find, okay, there's this thing, Damla, in my heart. There's this like huge lump of charcoal that's not moving anywhere. Then it's time to work with someone like me, an intuitive healer, to unlock the doors of that and see what wisdom lies within that.
And I love what you said. Relax, go on a walk, take a bath, just breathe and reorganize yourself. Such great advice there. So let me ask you this. What does it mean to run an online business intuitively? Or if we don't have a business, maybe run a household intuitively. What do you mean by that? And how would one go about doing that?
It means being a little bit more in the flow. And I think we all do this to a degree. We may not name it as such. We may not name it as intuition. Being in the flow of it means, like, I woke up today, for instance. I actually didn't go to bed until 2 a.m. last night. And today my energy is ebbing and flowing. So being in the flow means I'm not going to force myself to, sit down and write 15 pages today, or force myself to do a tedious task, but there are smaller tasks I can handle. Or being in the flow of the business also means, this person asked me this question. I wonder if there are other people who might need this kind of thing. And your attention going to that question in particular, or that question synchronistically coming and finding you, should give you a hint that there's a need there, that your system and your ability, your creativity could potentially cover and help. And the intuitive part of it also means trusting the seasons of your business, trusting the seasons of your life, and knowing that we're all here. I think, Destiny, you're included in that as well. Like, we have goals, we have dreams, we have whether you're running a business or not, we have things that we want to accomplish. But then there's the beauty and the creation in this moment. What's already heaven? What have you already created? What are you creating here in this moment with your breath, with your coherence, with your understanding of meeting your needs? And as you meet those needs, as you create those little breaks of breath, alignment, and coherence, what can that give way to in the next moment and the next moment and the next moment? And I think the more we can stay in that presence with the breath, with the coherence, the more the intuitive hits, or the intuitive awareness keeps coming. Because when we're in fight or flight or freeze, we're not able to access. We're not able to commune with the love that you are, is not able to commune with the love that is all around you. So making time and space to listen to the love that is all around you, to give you clues, to give you hints, and to give you your next what I call marching orders.
And I love that, right? Because a lot of times I'm sitting here, working on things and an idea just pops in my mind. So that's a clue, right? That's a hint that I should go do something, related to that. So I love what you said there. So any last minute tips for the audience?
I think it's important to give ourselves what we need, move towards more and more move towards what feels good and move away from what doesn't feel good and put boundaries around what doesn't feel good. Again, the question becomes, okay, here, my breath is restricted here. Why is it? Because I know I'm going to be meeting my boss or my mother-in-law the next day, something like that. So how can I sort of fortify myself for it? Or how can I meet the people who give me stress less? And then the other piece of that is, so this breath here is restricted. How can I reach towards tools and people and things like crystal healing or journaling, or giving myself this next business tool that will allow me to have a bigger breath, have a fuller breath here. And when you recognize that there's a need here, even if you don't quite know how to meet that need, how to make that breath a little fuller, even acknowledging, I see you, my body. I see you struggling. I see that there is a place of us that needs healing, that needs more flow. And saying something like, I hear you, I see you, I will tend to your needs, and I'm here for you.
And I love that, just tending to our own needs and, kind of leaning into what feels good and leaning away from what doesn't feel good. So that's such great advice there. Now, Damla, can you tell the audience where they can find you? And I also believe you have a free gift for them.
Yes. So you can go to adropofom.com, adropofom.com. And the same on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me under adropofom. And on my website, I have a couple different free gifts. One of them is a meditation for actually opening up the flow in your body. It's called Allowing Life to Flow. And that meditation in particular works with EFT tapping. And all it does is helps you acknowledge those blockages that we talked about, and helps you be a witness to them without judgment, without labeling, without any expectations, and letting go of your wish and dream to be different, allowing yourself to be who you are in that moment. I think that's the very first step in moving towards feeling better. So if you go to adropofom.com under free resources, you can find that meditation.
And we will make sure that all of those links are in the show notes, so they can just click on the link and go right to your website or to your free gift or in your social media account. So Damla, thank you so much for joining me. I loved learning more about you and your journey and how you help people. And you had some really great tips today. I'm actually going to go implement some of them today in my own business and life.
Go find a crystal.
Yes. Yeah. That was one of my first ones. Actually, I have some here in my house. I've just never used them. So I'm going to go get them and maybe put them on my desk here in my office.
They are beautiful to look at. So there you go. That could be a beautiful reminder for taking a breath right there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening today. Don't forget to sign up for the waitlist so you'll be the first to know when our next free Hobby School online learning summit launches. The link is in the show notes for this episode, or you can go to hobbyschool.com, and that's Hobby School with school without an H in it. Talk soon.